No DQ Galaxy, we are live with what was supposed to be just a recap of Friday Night Smackdown for January 26th, 2024, on the eve of the Royal Rumble Premium Live event. Now, the past day, there's been a dark cloud hanging over WWE. Vince McMahon being sued, accused of sex trafficking. And then Friday night during SmackDown, Deadline reported it first, Vince McMahon has resigned from WWE and TKO. He is done. Now, we've seen this film before. Vince McMahon left in 2022. Vince McMahon retired from WWE and got himself back into the company as part of the sale. But now he has resigned. He's in legal trouble, and it happened pretty quickly. Now, what happened on Friday, today, Slim Jim announced that they were pausing their relationship with WWE. And that affects WWE and TKO's bottom line. When that happened, it felt like it was more likely that something was going to happen and something would happen soon. We did not even get to the end of Friday night for the decision to be made that Vince McMahon is completely done. I am surprised, and I'm also not surprised. I felt like this had to be done, but at the same time, Vince McMahon has always managed to stick around, and it's one of those scenarios where you believe it when you see it or when you hear it. He's gone, and it was the right move for business. Like I said, a dark cloud hanging over WWE, and this is a first step. Obviously, there's the questions now. Who else knew about this? Will there be more fallout from all this? How is this legal case going to play out? But for now, he's gone, and at least we can start to just focus on the Royal Rumble and know that the company is separate from Vince McMahon at this time. I am hopeful that things will continue to be transparent with WWE and Triple H, Nick Khan. They will not beat around the bush. They'll be straight with people when it comes to questions. And we'll see what happens with this legal process with Vince McMahon. Will there be more stories that come out? Like, as I mentioned on the other live stream we did when we predicted the Royal Rumble, I read that complaint and it just got more messed up. Every page I read, what else can there be? You never know. It's pretty damning, though. That complaint, yeah. Not going to talk about it here live, the details of it. It's very disturbing. I'm sure most of you have read it by now. Some people think Vince will be back. I really think he's gone. I don't think he's coming back at this point. I really do feel like this is the end of Vince McMahon in WWE once and for all. A very complicated legacy. He has done a lot of great things business-wise for professional wrestling. I don't think anybody can take that away from him, his accomplishments. He worked his ass off to build a brand, build a company, and make it a global juggernaut. But a lot of skeletons in that closet, a lot of scandals and controversies. I mean, Vince McMahon, the story of Vince, like you could not write a fictional movie that would be as intriguing as the life of Vince McMahon, the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys of his life and career. It's a lot. It's a lot to digest with Vince being gone, but it really had to happen. Regardless of whether he's guilty or not, he needed to be gone for the sake of the company moving forward. So that is the breaking news about Vince McMahon. You guys can stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest breaking news developments regarding this story. Massive story. We're just here less than a month into 2024, and it's already been very newsworthy, to say the least. Now, we got the Royal Rumble coming up in less than 24 hours. We have Smackdown to discuss, and crazy to think that Slim Jim was a factor in wrestling history like this. When you look back at the history books, Slim Jim pausing their relationship with WWE set the stage for Vince to resign and step away. Who would have thought that? Back in the 90s, when you watched the Slim Jim commercials with Randy Savage, would you think one day Slim Jim would be a major factor in Vince McMahon stepping away? Now, this was a massive deal between WWE and Slim Jim. Huge sponsorship deal. So when Slim Jim pulls out, that can create a domino effect with other companies not wanting to work with WWE. I mean, it was bad, very bad publicity for WWE. And again, regardless of Vince's guilt, the negative headlines, it just was something that had to happen. All right, let's get to SmackDown. We had this rapper, Eladio Carrion, I think is how you pronounce his name. He came to the ring, and they talked about how he's a friend of Bad Bunny on commentary, Michael Cole and Corey Graves on commentary. Whether this is temporary or not remains to be seen. Kevin Patrick was released from WWE. That was another news story this week, which kind of got lost in the shuffle with all the other things that went down this week. It's just been a crazy week. Like this week alone, between the Netflix deal, The Rock being part of the board of directors for TKO, and then the Vince lawsuit followed by Vince resigning. Like this week has been insane. And now we got the Rumble coming up. So anyways, Eladio Carrion introduced Randy Orton to the ring. Randy Orton cut a promo, and he said the Bloodline has been on a hell of a run in WWE. But they're going to fall victim. Roman Reigns is going to fall victim to the three most dangerous letters in sports entertainment, RKO. This led to AJ Styles coming out and said that Randy Orton was looking past him. Randy Orton should know better. LA Knight came out. You know how these segments go. LA Knight said that he's got a match with Solo Sikoa in the main event because he is the biggest threat to Roman Reigns. And LA Knight came into the ring, said his piece, and then left. And then AJ Styles took a cheap shot at Randy Orton. And that was our opening segment. It was pretty standard. Super T-Day Smith sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Says, the Attitude Era is back, baby. The Attitude Era is always speculated on anytime something remotely edgy happens, whether there's a little bit of blood or somebody uses profanity. The Attitude Era is always coming back in some form or fashion. We had our first match of the evening, which was Carlito going up against Santos Escobar. Now, if you remember, this was supposed to be at Survivor Series. Carlito had a strong start, and then Santos took control for a while. Santos did the double knees in the corner and then gave Carlito a Hurricane Rana out of the corner. Carlito kicked out. Carlito started to make his comeback. Then you had Humberto getting on the apron. Angel Garza interfered. Carlito was in trouble. And then you had a brawl between the LWO and Legado del Fantasma. But then we had the return of Elektra Lopez. She showed up and she knocked Zelina Vega off the apron. Santos Escobar rolled up Carlito and got the 1-2-3 victory. So they did this angle here with Elektra Lopez, and now you can do a potential mixed tag team match with the LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. Makes sense to bring her back and have her reunited with Legado. Good angle here. We had Jimmy Uso backstage running into AJ Styles, and then the Good Brothers approached AJ and wanted to know what was up with that, and AJ basically said, "Don't worry about it. The plot thickens." We also had a backstage segment with Nick Aldis and Ava Rain, who is the daughter of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. She was just elected as the general manager of NXT. This happened this past Tuesday with the returning William Regal, who announced that she was going to be the new GM. They had the Tumblr to draw names for the Royal Rumble. People started drawing their names and their numbers for the Rumble. We had a video package hyping up the women's tag team title match. But before we got to that, we had R-Truth drawing his number, and he was upset. He thought he had to go into quarantine, but they had to make it clear to him it's just his number for the Rumble. I guess that means he's number 19. If it's COVID-19, is that the joke? I guess we'll see if R-Truth is number 19 at the Rumble. We had our tag team title match, Katana Chance and Kayden Carter, the Ravers, defending against the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Good match here, but this was right around the time that the Vince McMahon news broke. So I was a little distracted by that. But from what I saw, this was a very good match. And also, I do want to give a shout out to the fans in Miami. They were red hot for this show. Great crowd. One of the better WWE crowds in quite some time. They definitely brought the energy to this show. Now, we had this match, and it was very good. It was a very good match. I enjoyed it, and it was back and forth. You had Kairi Sane going for the insane elbow, but Kayden Carter got her legs up. Asuka tagged in, and Carter and Chance did the keg stand double team. Kairi Sane broke up the pin attempt. Carter and Chance tried to finish them off with the after party. They were not successful with that. And then on the outside of the ring, Chance was sent into the announce table by Kairi Sane, and Sane and Asuka double teamed Carter, got the 1-2-3 victory to become the new women's tag team champions. No surprise here. I fully expected this with the storyline. And just you want to have a top tier team as your champions. With all due respect to Carter and Chance, I felt like they were transitional champions at this point. Afterwards, we had the big celebration. We had the fireworks and pyro going off. Damage Control was out there. Cool little moment here to celebrate the new tag team champions being crowned. Good stuff. Backstage, we had Paul Heyman confronting Solo Sikoa, saying that Solo's job was not to solve the problem with Roman Reigns' opponents, but to fix the problem, and said, don't be merciful. We also had Heyman talking to Jimmy Uso, saying that Jimmy needs to seize the moment by entering the Royal Rumble match, and said that Jimmy needs to beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania for the world title and bring the title over to the Bloodline. We had Bianca Belair backstage drawing her number. She said she's going to be a 2-time Rumble winner. Bayley drew her number and did not seem too pleased with the number she drew. We then had the Pride, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, come into the ring for a promo. And they said that they were there for a fight. They were ready. They called out the Final Testament, which is Karrion Kross's faction. They have new music, and I will say that it was a good song, better than most of the WWE theme songs as of late. I thought it was pretty solid. Scarlett went into the ring. Everybody else stood at the stage, and Paul Ellering had a line. He said that there is no fear in Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross got on the mic. Crowd was doing the what chants at him, and he told them to shut the hell up. They booed him, and he said because of the disrespect from the fans, they were not going to get their fight. Bobby said yes, they were going to get their fight, and they went out to attack the Final Testament, but then Scarlett jumped on Bobby Lashley's back, raked him in the eyes, and then Karrion Kross took advantage. It was a beatdown. AOP destroyed the Street Profits, and then Lashley tried to fight back but was overwhelmed, and he was taken down as well. Good angle here. You know, they're dragging us out a little bit, but I enjoyed it. Another solid segment. And then backstage, Jimmy Uso drew his number, and he said, no yeet. I guess it's a bad number. We had footage of Kevin Owens and Logan Paul brawling at the WWE Performance Center, just to have a little bit more build up for that match. Nothing too significant. Then we had Carmelo Hayes versus Austin Theory in a rematch from a couple of weeks ago. Pretty good match here with these guys. You had Grayson Waller interfering at various points during the match, and Austin Theory was able to get the win. He reversed Carmelo's pin and was grabbing the trunks, so he cheated to win. And then there was an attack. The two of them attacked Carmelo after the match, and we had a save from Trick Williams. Whoop that Trick, and he got a massive reaction. Like, this was awesome. The crowd popped big for him. He came out there, cleaned house, helped out his friend. I thought this was great. The crowd was so into him that I almost feel like they gotta get him on the main roster as soon as possible. This guy is money. I think he has a bigger upside than Carmelo. Like, Carmelo will be a big deal in WWE, but I kind of see him like in a Ricochet type of role. Trick Williams, though, this guy could be an upper tier guy. I think there's some real potential in him, and his theme song, his entrance and everything, like that's money. That guy's going to be a star. Remember this comment. Save this comment. Trick Williams is going to be a big deal. That's my prediction. He's going to be a major star in WWE for years to come. Remember, I said it. Like I sense it with the guy. I think he has it. Carmelo will be big too, but I feel like Trick has the overall presentation that is going to make him a major star in WWE. We had Solo Sikoa backstage having a little bit of a stare down with the rapper, Eladio Carry On. And then we had our main event of the evening, LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa. Pretty standard match here. LA Knight was targeting the hand, the Samoan spike hand, which makes sense. Drove it into the steel steps and then sent Solo into the ring post. But Jimmy Uso was out there to provide a distraction. And after the break, LA Knight made a comeback, but then AJ Styles attacked him with the phenomenal forearm from the barricade, causing a disqualification. Then Jimmy Uso grabbed the steel chair, slid it over to AJ Styles to use it as a weapon, but Styles ended up using it on Solo and Jimmy. Then we had Randy Orton running down. A fight broke out with everyone. Orton hit the RKO to AJ Styles. Crowd was chanting Randy Orton. The credits came up to end SmackDown, but then LA Knight came in with one final BFT to Randy Orton to get the final word in, the final move as we go into the Royal Rumble, which to me, I mean, I wasn't expecting anything different, but I do not think LA Knight will be winning the championship. Oh, and I forgot, there was another Hulk Hogan video that aired during SmackDown. I guess another Royal Rumble tease. I mean, maybe he'll show up and do something, but is he really going to be in the Rumble match? I am not expecting that to happen, but never say never, right? I mean, crazier things have happened over the years. I just don't know, like, how does he get thrown over the top if he's going to be in the Rumble? I really don't even see how he can get to the ring, but maybe he'll just be backstage and they'll do like a little backstage segment with him because, you know, it's Tampa, it's his neck of the woods, and even brought that up in the promo. We'll see what happens. All right, so there you have it. SmackDown in the books. Vince McMahon is gone. Royal Rumble coming up. It was a good SmackDown. I liked it. Solid entertainment for 2 hours. Some good build for the Royal Rumble. I give the show a solid B. We had a few cool moments. Tag team title change. Some eventful moments. I give it a thumbs up. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Tell a friend, spread the word. Let your wrestling friends know about the channel and NoDQ.com for the latest wrestling news and rumors. Everything regarding Vince McMahon, check it out at NoDQ.com. And I will be doing live results coverage. And I will be back here on the YouTube channel right after the show to give my thoughts on that. So tune in after the Royal Rumble for the No DQ live recap. Enjoy the Royal Rumble, everybody. Take care, stay safe, and remember, say yes to NoDQ.com. See you next time.